Yes, ndewo mwa Chukwudi here, reading from the content of my diaries. Today, ụbọchị nke mbọsụ n'ime ọnwa nke June n'afọ 2026. So, anọbem here na I continue to broadcast the content of my diaries in respect of the injustice and the calamity that is ravaging my father's house. So, I can the history of what has been going on in my father's house in order to kind of amplify the genesis of what has happened to my kid brother Ojo, because the story goes beyond the propaganda. Mike no munea opaga achonko do everybody anya marashi onye na ekwu okwu anakwa na-ajụ onye ajụjụ shi ihe dịkwa mere taa, did this thing happen like this? So that is my target, and I'll continue to do so until when I don't know. So mgba ego ekwesu jiri shinchotula tissue paper ekwesu jiri shinchotula fiya na Ghana must go repega Mike o jiri yo Mike enwe na program ndị ga-benefit from that money. Chinedu na Franca. Or one that they benefited from it in a way to say that Mike actually divided the money and gave to them. No, or just the influence of Ndeni Anwoku, Ndanambra, that was able to absorb Franca and Chinedu. Because like as I'm trying to explain, the salary before Papa may retire was about 150 naira every month, which I know very fine. Papa Ajima pay sleep, and I was working in the post office. I know how much the salary was. I mean, what was the minimum wage at that time? So Papa was earning 150 naira. So from that 150 naira, rent Papa was 45 naira for that for the one room Anibinimia. So my dad during that time, Papa Mrikodomanya that I am a pledge to train his children up to secondary school. But when anybody that want to, move or aspire more than that, Dayagenye his blessing, even though he may not be able to afford it financially. But now the condition no money aboard he may abandon or what he had and it pained my dad very, very much. My dad was suffering was living in pains. Now, Mike may U-turn. Look back from Italy. Maybe I'm in harmony with our mother. Now, the sharing of the dividend of that money ritual is what I am going to speak about. Those people that, because Mike will not invest in a way that will progress somebody else's life. No. A homine will influence here in trying to direct his friends to be able to assist Franca and Chinedu. Because if I consider the number of months Chinedu na Radio Nigeria before he left, because my papa mji labuo from Chinedu, she come and stay with me in this house to enable us maintain the house. He came quite all right, but he didn't spend more than 2 weeks. An admission at University of Jos. Then he left. So from the day all happened, Jema to University of Jos, and then I don't think, he graduated and then moved straight to Canada. It is up to me to conclude that the kind of, because university education in Nigeria is not cheap, especially when you are not doing it as pastime, you are working and also studying. No, it was full time. So where did the money emanated from? So Franca Nongwea did the same. Went to school, graduated, then Franca didn't work for any company in Nigeria. Franca never wrote job application in Nigeria for one day. And then she went, after graduation, she went straight to Canada. Anybody from Nigeria, from Murtala Mohammed Airport to Canada, it's not cheap. ndị nke ego ha echi nne aja ha agbakwaga ama na aga m abịa kọkwanụ the history ebe m gbakwana mụ adịkwanụ share ha nyere m where I was able to go and how much distance I worked with foot eji m ụkwụ aga Europe to be able to from country to country, border to border. N'ihi na gịnị enwe m share from that money. So ndị nwere share, they have graduated from university and then they flew the longest distance anybody can fly by air and landed in a comfortable country because all that na Mike with the money or influence here within the Anambra. So in a way, so technically, they benefited from that money. So at this time, Stella, who our kid sister, Afuala no Lodi, because that marriage, in her will mano she know. If you, I mean, what I'm trying to say is this: that marriage was not sanctioned by man, because I was in disagreement with that marriage, and God Himself didn't approve it. So that marriage lasted for a very short time. Our sister Afuala. Nga Hofara. For at the time that I was still struggling to be able to find a house, I couldn't absorb her in. Frank and on us, Stella on our street. Stella was in the street, nowhere to go. Chineke mebere onye ọbara anyị Rosaline, our sister. Ebe Rosaline na-eme nwa small business here. I learned that she was doing business of ebe ngeja ano ere mmanya na ikekwe mega pepper soup na kuna ere mmanya. People ọbịa na ha na-aṅụ mmanya. And anybody can imagine the kind of situation that will come when your own sister is in that position of going to be assisting in selling beer and drinks. That was crazy. This is the kind of thing that will happen when a family push a member of their, decide to push a member out. Mama, for that matter, whom we are supposed to bring in, it was supposed to be Mike's responsibility to reintegrate Stella back into the family. Whether Magaichia go back to school, go and learn a trade, go and learn hairdressing, go and learn whatever you want to learn, or do something, start a business for her. So that is it. I mean, it could have been done, but Stella was not enrolled among those that will benefit from that rubbish money. So Joe himself was not among. But whatever happened, Joe was used as a tool because Joe was working as a houseboy because immediately Papa Yechelabo 1985, 1986, Joe was already with Mike as a houseboy at a Jigbo. Joe Jibido to serve Mike. I wish I could turn back the hand of the clock. At least I want to Yauro Macastella to be able to see what I could do to bring my sister back. When I finally secured a room at Odishelu, Stella came. I got to go meet Christmas because I made sure that I goes to the village every Christmas, every Easter to go and stay with my mom and my dad. So Stella came, all of us is going home. Okay. Then we went to the village. It was there they discovered that she was pregnant. To bring her back. What am I going to do? Okay, we find it doesn't mean that is the end of the road for my sister. Many people are doing that. There are many. It was like a tradition. For some years. It's not I didn't have but my own sister's case became a different. To Mike and Emma who graduate plan ya hello hook back. Hishina Stella who drew su Aga Hassan Yoko, Aga Hakoya, Aga Hamed this, Aga Hamed that. Started to bother an old man. Papa, I'm glad they look out with the situation of our mother. I was not at home to be able to allow those things. I came back and began to hear about those things, and I was very bitter about it. Stella was not the worst. May abandon. She no longer for that. I hook her back inside our family, and then they give them a place to stay. and you have room to stay. What about, why is my own sister's case begin to be treated differently? So the positions our sister no, who still are no, was so vulnerable that it was so easy for anybody to do anything with her. I concluded that they bribed the doctor to be able to make sure that Stella did not step out of the hospital. Ka ha nwee ike retrieve the baby. Because if na the stage ruler when they will now require a baby to be able to reactivate the money ritual. This is Chineke na God. Chineke na Kenya anyway. A lot of things is happening in my father's house, and I'm so disappointed. I'm so angry about it. This thing is happening because this guy Chinedu is already part of the syndicate. Franca is part of the syndicate, and there is none of them can be able to open their mouth and say, no, this thing is not going to happen this way. Why must Stella suffer when Chinedu was in position? Why must Stella suffer, stay in the street? At the time, I was trying to take to shelter with Mike at Ejigbo. So everyone day she him for Ayalola Wanye. This place will not be comfortable for him with me staying. I left to go and begin to find somewhere to stay at Itire. I began to squat at Itire. I left his house. Is that the condition I will be to be able to help my sister? Because I'm not supposed to benefit from the money. From toilet, from Egodote. So what I'm doing right now, actually ga around to be able to expose what has happened to Joe. Because here Joe who committed suicide already, that is completely rubbish. It's false. Thank you for listening. I will continue this story.